starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for ABC4 News at 5 o'clock. I'm Jordan Tracy. We begin with another massive nationwide protest from the grassroots movement called 5051. Utah State Capitol's front steps filled with hundreds of protesters today, speaking out against some of the current administration's policies, including federal cuts, changes to Social Security, and deportations. ABC4's Yunsun Kim is at the Capitol now. Yunsun, we had a similar protest just last weekend. How is it different today?
Well, Jordan, the slogan of the April 5th protest was mainly hands off our Social Security, hands off our community, and hands off our rights. The protesters demanded to the government. But today, something that was different about today's protest was that more diverse set of voices came out to join the collective movement. And for more, we have Carl Moore, who is the chairman of Unsheltered Utah, the nonprofit that aids the unsheltered population here. So, Carl, tell us why it is important for you to be here today.
Well, I think there's two reasons why it's important. One is Indigenous representation matters. Indigenous voices need to be held and uplifted at the highest points in any conversation in Indigenous land. Also, with my organization, Unsheltered Utah, a lot of the policies and things that are happening in society affect the unsheltered community more than the community that is sheltered. So I just wanted to be here to, again, elevate the voice of Indigenous people, let people know that they're on Indigenous land, and also that unsheltered people, they're fighting the most oppression that is going on here with things that are going on around in the world right now. So.
Absolutely. So in our chat earlier, you mentioned that some of the policies that you're seeing in the current administration is boxing marginalized voices more and more. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and why you're unhappy about it?
Well, I just think it's very dangerous and it's very it's just unethical, but for us, when we're dealing with unsheltered people, we provide shelter to people in the wintertime, and a lot of the people that we provide shelter to are undocumented people. So undocumented people are obviously a target by the administration. We also have people in the LGBTQ community who are targeted by this current administration. You know, we have the elimination of DEI or whatever they think that is, right? And we have the oppression of women, people of color, black people, Indigenous people. All of those policies are affecting people, but they affect people that are unhoused more. Because people that are unhoused, they generally don't have that voice. Their voices aren't listened to. And if they go missing or if they go murdered, you know, like there's not a big fuss raised about it because they're gone and they don't generally care, society, unfortunately. And we just want to make sure that their voice is heard and that we recognize, hey, there are people that are being marginalized more than themselves. So people are motivated to come out here, but I want them to know that, hey, there's people that have been marginalized way before they were being attacked themselves.
Really quick before we wrap up, I just have one important question. You said that you weren't part of the April 5th protest, but after talks with the organizers from 5051, you felt motivated to come out here today. Tell us the reason why.
Absolutely. Well, one is 5051 called me and I set up an interview with me and we talked, but they were concerned about Indigenous voices and people of diverse people raising their voices, which is what needs to happen. So I'm really happy with what they've been doing to pull together people like my sisters got to make the opening, you know, representing missing and murdered Indigenous relatives. They're really standing by what they're walking the walk, you know, and they're listening to that, which is something that I appreciate. Not just and elevating the voices of marginalized communities, especially the Indigenous community, because that's the voice that needs to be heard primarily in Indigenous land.
All right, thank you so much. So, of course, thank you so much for joining us. From Carl, we've learned that today was about bringing out those diverse voices in the Utah community, marginalized, the homeless, unsheltered, Indigenous, and POCs. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Yunsun Kim, ABC4 News.
All right, Yunsun.